U.S. military deploys thousands more troops to southern border. A story courtesy of CNN Politics. This is Afrimedia Rwanda, your trusted source for breaking news. Stay informed, stay connected. Thousands of additional active-duty U.S. troops have been deployed to the southern border with Mexico, just 2 days after President Donald Trump ordered an increase in military presence at the border, CNN Politics reports. Currently, approximately 2,200 active-duty forces are stationed at the border under the Joint Task Force North, A, part of U.S. Northern Command based in El Paso, Texas. Their role includes supporting customs and border protection by handling logistics, data entry, detection, monitoring, and vehicle maintenance. Acting Secretary of Defense Robert Salces confirmed that 1,500 ground personnel, helicopters with crews, and intelligence analysts have been deployed to enhance detection and monitoring operations. 4 military aircraft, 2 C-17S and 2 C-130S, have also been sent to San Diego and El Paso to facilitate deportation flights for more than 5,000 migrants detained in border sectors. Caroline Leavitt, White House press secretary, stated, President Trump signed an executive order to deploy 1,500 additional troops to the southern border. This aligns with his directive to make Homeland Security a core mission of the Department of Defense. The troops, including military police and intelligence experts, will assist in operational readiness, command centers, and air operations, but are not authorized for direct law enforcement, such as arrests or drug seizures. This deployment is part of broader efforts to strengthen the border's security infrastructure and address challenges posed by immigration surges. Trump's 3-day immigration blitz severely tightens border, sets stage for rapid deportations. The Trump administration has moved with lightning speed to roll out the president's immigration agenda, effectively closing off the U.S. southern border to asylum seekers, severely limiting who's eligible to enter the United States, and laying the groundwork to swiftly deport migrants already in the country. Within hours of taking office, President Donald Trump signed a spate of executive actions that have already had wide-ranging impacts for people both inside and outside the U.S. By Wednesday, incoming refugee flights were cancelled, troops were moving to the border, federal authorities were given permission to arrest people in or near schools and churches, and the pool of undocumented immigrants eligible for quick deportation without a judicial hearing was expanded. Behind the scenes, federal agencies like the Justice Department were standing up their immigration crackdown, firing people in key leadership roles who oversee the nation's immigration courts and threatening to prosecute state and local officials who resist the administration's plans. The Justice Department has also told legal service providers to stop work intended to help support immigrants, according to a memo obtained by CNN, stripping away critical access for people in detention trying to navigate the tangled U.S. immigration system. Providers who receive federal funding and work in immigration detention were told by the department Wednesday to stop providing legal orientation, help at immigration courts, and counsel for children, citing one of Trump's executive orders. The move had immediate repercussions. Staff manning help desks at certain immigration courts had to be pulled off to avoid falling out of compliance, according to a source familiar with the decision. They were telegraphing this from the very beginning, said Jessica Vaughan, Director of Policy Studies for the Center for Immigration Studies, which favors stricter immigration policies. It's delivering on promises made during the campaign and continuing the work they left off 4 years ago. Over the course of the week, some of the key policies and efforts that Trump launched in his first term were resurrected, including expanding who's eligible for a fast-track deportation procedure and largely cutting off the refugee resettlement program. He also moved to reinstate the Remain in Mexico program, requiring migrants to stay in Mexico while they go through their immigration proceedings in the United States. The policy requires Mexico's buy-in. Late Tuesday, the State Department notified resettlement partners that previously scheduled flights for refugees would be cancelled and processing would be suspended, effectively shuttering the program. Refugees go through one of the most rigorous vetting processes in the world, and many are now seeing their travel cancelled just days or even hours before they were set to begin their new lives in the United States. "It's utterly heartbreaking," said Krish Omara Vignaraja, President and CEO of Global Refuge. With refugee admissions suspended and the border largely sealed off to asylum seekers, there are few, if any, avenues available to people seeking refuge in the United States. White House Border Czar Tom Homan told CNN's Dana Bash Tuesday that targeted enforcement operations by Immigration and Customs Enforcement were already happening. But this time, he argued, agents have greater latitude. Biden administration enforcement priorities that Trump officials said set up too many hurdles to arresting individuals were rescinded. A new directive was issued allowing ICE to conduct enforcement actions in or near sensitive areas like schools and churches. Criminals will no longer be able to hide in America's schools and churches to avoid arrest. The Trump administration will not tie the hands of our brave law enforcement and instead trust them to use common sense, Acting Homeland Security Secretary Benjamin Huffman said in a statement. But Anna Gallagher, executive director of the Catholic Legal Immigration Network, said the policy change sends a chilling message to our immigrant communities and create an environment of fear that will prevent people from seeking the support they need and accessing their rights. Officials also expanded a procedure to speed up deportations to include undocumented immigrants anywhere in the US who can't prove they've lived in the US continuously for 2 years or more. The fast-track deportation procedure, known as expedited removal, allows immigration authorities to remove an individual without a hearing before an immigration judge. In doing so, the administration is provided greater latitude in quickly deporting undocumented immigrants. While the Trump administration has focused much of its effort on interior enforcement, troops are being mobilized to the US-Mexico border to step